Welcome, my friends, and let's talk about a question that I received from many people, and they're actually asking about a course like the CELTA course, which is the Certificate for Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages by Cambridge Assessment English, right? And the question was, can people fail the CELTA? And the answer is yes, that's a possibility, because the CELTA course is a pass and fail course. So you need to be careful when you are joining this course. Yes, the percentage of people who don't pass the CELTA course is so low, like in Egypt, for example, it's 3.7%. In some other countries, it's kind of 1%, 1.5%. I mean, it depends on your country, and also the numbers of people joining the course from this country. But anyway, it's not a high percentage, but it happens. And again, in this video, we're going to talk about why this might happen and what sort of candidates this may happen to, right? And the first reason why someone might not be able to pass the CELTA course is teach and practice, because this is the most important element of assessment on the CELTA course. On the CELTA course, every candidate has to teach for 6 hours, right? So if you miss one TP, if you don't attend one TP, you don't pass. End of story. Why? Because you didn't complete the course. You didn't meet the criterion of teaching for 6 hours. And this is why I always say to my candidates on different courses, I say, failing a TP, okay, is far better, okay, than not showing up for that TP. Because if you don't show up for the TP, man, I mean, you're in trouble. But failing a TP, I mean, it happens, you know. I mean, sometimes we teach good lessons, sometimes some of our lessons are not very successful, and we reflect on that, we try to make them better. So, I mean, we cannot be, you know, I mean, excellent consistently all the time, you know. I mean, that's not, perfection is not a human characteristic, right? So then, okay, bear this in mind. So on the CELTA course, you need to teach for 6 hours. If you're absent, if you miss, okay, one TP, and you don't cover it during the course, and the course is over without you teaching the 6 hours, then, I mean, you can say bye-bye to your course. So be careful. That's one of the reasons why some people would not pass the CELTA course, because they don't complete the course, which is, it's obvious. It's obvious, right? I mean, how can you succeed in an exam if you don't show up for it? If you don't attend, how can you pass? So that is number one. Now, number two, consistent failing in TPs to the degree that you're unable to prove that you can teach skills or systems for a specific level. Because usually on a CELTA course, you have 8 TPs. Okay, sometimes 6, depending. If you teach 6 times, then each time will be for 1 hour. Okay, but hardly do centers do that. You know, I mean, it's not common, right? Or you teach 8 TPs. Okay, each TP for 45 minutes, or 8 TPs. The first 6 is for 40 minutes, and the last 2, each one is for an hour. So, I mean, but all in all, you need to teach, you know, I mean, 6 hours. Now, if you keep failing consistently, like, for example, you're teaching the elementary level, Okay? And then you fail in teaching a skills lesson to the elementary lesson. And then you fail another skills lesson. I mean, what does that say? It says somehow that you cannot teach skills to elementary students. Then that's a very dangerous, situation now. And because you need to prove that you can teach skills to lower levels and higher levels. You can teach systems to lower levels and higher levels. And when we talk about systems, we mean grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, discourse, function, vocabulary, that sort of thing. So another reason for not passing the CELTA course might be consistent failing. Okay? And it is dangerous, right? So how do we avoid that? By reading your tutor's feedback carefully. Some people don't read. All what they think about is, okay, let's get ready for the coming TP. I'm not going to think about, yes, I mean, good strategy. You don't need to think about negative, things. If you failed a TP, then you don't need to think about it. You don't need to busy your mind with that because it will make you depressed. But you need to read your feedback carefully so that you avoid the mistakes that you made in this TB, and then they don't happen in the other one. So it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Right? But some people don't read the feedback sheets, and don't be surprised when I'm saying this. It happens. We've seen it so many times. Some people just don't read. Okay. And then they're surprised that there is no improvement. But of course, if you don't read your feedback, how do you expect that you will improve? It's very difficult, right? Good. Another reason for not passing the CELTA course can be assignments. On the CELTA course, there are 4 assignments. And you need to pass at least 3 assignments to pass the course. But don't get me wrong, because some people think that because, okay, you need to pass three assignments, someone might think, so it's not important to submit, one of them. No, you have to submit the 4 assignments. The 4 have to be submitted. You need to pass 3 to pass the course. But you have to submit 4 of them. What if you don't submit, one of them? Then your course is incomplete. How can you pass? You see what I mean? It's out of question. Right. Now someone might say, Shady, and why would an assignment fail? Maybe because you don't meet the criteria required from you. I mean, that is something, right? One of the reasons why. Maybe some parts are missing from the assignment. Okay, not submitting everything. Some activities were supposed to be attached to your assignments. You didn't, submit those activities, and that caused the assignment to be a resubmission, that sort of stuff, right? Plagiarism, the use of AI, in a wrong way. And what I mean by a wrong way, I mean using it for assignments. AI is great when you use it for creating activities and that sort of stuff, but you're not supposed to be using it for assignments or lesson plans. Right. But good news is, on this CELTA, your tutor will write comments on your assignments, and these comments will show you exactly what you need to work on in order to pass. So if your assignment is bad, it doesn't fail on the first time. No, you're given an opportunity to resubmit it, which is good news. And also your tutors will be very clear about what you need to do this time. They will write to you. But if you ignore their comments and you don't read them, then there is a big possibility that this resubmission might be a fail. So be careful. So my advice would be, read your tutor's comments carefully, okay? The comments left on your assignments, read them carefully, my friends, in order to pass safely. Don't ignore the comments and then you're surprised that, oh my God, I didn't pass. Oh, of course, if you don't respond to your tutor's comments, like your tutor, for example, is saying, this is not a GIST task. This task is targeting reading for specific information. You need to change it so it becomes a GIST task. And then what you do is that you ignore that comment, so you don't change it, or you replace it with another task focusing on reading for specific information. Where if this is the scenario and it comes back to your tutor the same way, then the tutor will have nothing to do but to fail your assignment. And in this scenario, that will be 1. If you fail another assignment, then bye-bye, your course is gone. Then be careful. So the first reason why someone, might fail the CELTA course can be because of teaching practice, or it can be because of assignments. Are there other reasons? Well, yeah, of course. Repeated absences might lead to failing the course, because it means that your course is incomplete. You haven't received the input sessions you're supposed to receive, right? Not doing your work. Like, one of the criteria for passing the course is being, able to design a lesson plan. So what happens if you don't design lesson plans at all during the course, and every time your tutors keep chasing you to submit your lesson plans, you're not submitting them? What do you expect will happen at the end? The lesson planning criterion is not met. Then, where would you go then? It's, your course might not be complete. Your portfolio is not complete. If your portfolio is not complete, your course is incomplete. And of course, certificates are not issued. As simple as that. If you don't write your self-reflections at all, because self-reflection is another criterion, and your tutors keep running after you, come on, write your self-reflection, write your self-reflection, write your self-reflection, and you don't send them. And then at the very end of the course, your portfolio is missing like lots of self-reflections. Okay, and again, so this means that there is a criterion that is not met. And the same thing for the language analysis sheet. So the secret is, work hard in your teaching practice, listen to your tutor's feedback well, read it carefully, act accordingly, be careful with assignments, avoid plagiarism completely, read your tutor's comments carefully, so that when they ask you for a resubmission, you know exactly what you need to do, And make sure that your portfolio is complete, You keep doing everything you're asked to do. This is a very serious course, and it's not a cheap course. That's an expensive course. It's a Cambridge English course, and Cambridge English is part of Cambridge University. So that's a wonderful certificate to hold and to have, right? Now, what sort of people, from my experience, what sort of candidates would fail a CELTA course? And I'm talking here about my own experience, right? Because, some other tutors might have different experiences when it comes to that. I don't know. But for me, I noticed that people who are too busy can fail a CELTA course. What do I mean by too busy? Like they have workload, and they didn't take a kind of a vacation during the course, so they're very busy with their work and the CELTA course. Especially if it's an intensive one, then it's impossible to have a job with an intensive CELTA course. You can, study for the CELTA as a part-time course, which is also something that we do here at Britishey, right? Usually on Friday and Saturday. And that will be, okay, yes, you can now keep your job while, you are on the CELTA during, your days off. So that is doable. But again, one more time, people who are too busy to do the work on a CELTA course, they don't pass. So not because they're weak, but because, they don't have time to work hard. And again, and my advice then, when you are planning for your CELTA, be careful. If it is intensive, then you need to forget, everything about your social life for a whole month, free yourself very well for the course. Forget about work now. It's a course that might start at 9 a.m. and ends at 5 or 6 p.m. So that's a very intensive type of course. So make sure that you're free, right? Another type of candidates who might fail the course is careless people who don't care. I just don't know why, but some people, are like that. So, and what do I mean by that? Like, they don't read the feedback written by the tutor, they don't read it. They don't show up on time for the feedback sessions or assisted lesson planning sessions where their tutors would help them with lesson planning. Don't show up. They show up late for inputs. They're not professional. Those who are not professional, those who are careless, okay, those types of candidates, can fail the course, okay, because, of course, this sort of unprofessional behavior would reflect on a performance on the course, and that might lead to a fail at the end, right? So that's also another possibility. Finally, attendance. And yes, attendance might be related to people who are careless or unprofessional, but the CELTA course has criteria, and these criteria have to be met, and you cannot miss one TP. And as I said, you can fail, TPs and you still pass, but if you miss one TP, you don't pass the course. It's impossible. And that's why attendance is so important. And everything, regarding attendance is recorded in the document called CELTA 5 on your course. So, Cambridge is aware of all this. So my friends, right, I guess now I clarified in this video what might lead to failing the CELTA course and how you would avoid this, and also the types of people who would fail the CELTA course from my experience. Thank you so much, and again, good luck with your CELTA courses, and bye-bye.